Welcome to the True You Summit. I'm Carrie Rubin, your summit host and Chief Mom Officer at the Modern Mom Society. I'm excited to bring you this summit to help you get the tools you need to live an authentic and joyful mom life that's aligned to what your body, soul, and mind desires. I hope you enjoy this limited time free interview with one of the 15 experts that are here to discuss how you can get closer to your true you. Each day of the summit, we will explore 5 different areas of your life where you can improve your connection to your true you as a busy mom. Parenting, mom life, authenticity, spirituality, and mind and body. You'll have 24 hours free access to listen to the 3 experts discussing the topic of the day. Otherwise, you can purchase lifetime access to these life-changing series of interviews. There are 2 different packages available. The basic package, which includes all 15 interviews in MP3 format, can be purchased for $29, or the deluxe package, which includes all 15 interviews in audio, video, and transcript format, so you can get this great information whichever way you prefer. Plus, the deluxe package also includes bonus PDFs. One is the How to Connect to Your True You guide. It highlights the ways that the experts shared in their interview as to how they personally connect to their true selves, as well as the common ideas and themes throughout. So if you're new to connecting to your true you, or you're out of practice, you can start trying on these different ways of getting in tune with your inner wisdom, intuition, and true self right away. The second bonus PDF is Key Takeaways from the Summit. As I was recording all of these interviews, I noticed common themes and threads throughout. And this bonus document highlights these keys, so you'll be sure to get the most important ideas and begin to make shifts towards a happier, joyful, more aligned, and more fulfilled mom life today. The $29 and $59 prices for the basic and deluxe packages are good now through the end of the summit on May 10th. After that, the prices will go up to $59 and $89 respectively. So if you think you're going to miss any of these great interviews, or you'll know you want to have lifetime access to them, be sure to grab your True You Summit package upgrade today. Here's today's interview. I hope you enjoy it. Hi, and welcome to the True You Summit presented by the Modern Mom Society. I'm Carrie Rubin, your summit host and Chief Mom Officer at the Modern Mom Society. I'm so excited to bring you this summit to help you get the tools you need to live an authentic and joyful mom life that is aligned to what your body, soul, and mind desires. Today's expert is Allison Tenney. Allison is a strength coach who runs an online training business built on the belief that movement and heavy lifting are empowering and fun. Through strength training and fitness, Allison helps women build next-level strength, confidence, and the courage to seize their personal power. A relationship with our body is a very powerful one as it relates to our true you, isn't it? One of the themes running through this whole summit is how your body can be a doorway to getting in touch with what is true for us. But we as women, as moms, often have a contemptuous relationship with our bodies because they don't look the way we want them to, or society thinks our body should look. Food is a big part of this, which we discussed in a couple other interviews, but exercise is another big part of this. I see so many moms doing exercise solely out of obligation, and it really makes me feel sad. There's so much power in having a healthy relationship with movement and finding exercise that works for you and that feels empowering, rather than coming at it from a place of pounding your body into submission to look and do it what you want it to do. I was absolutely blown away by this interview with Allison. You know, when I go through the transcripts, I highlight key takeaways and phrases that were really profound or really good points. And I literally wanted to highlight the entire transcript from this interview. It is that good. Allison has such great wisdom on the topic that encompasses not only exercise, but just on the topic of our relationships with our bodies in general, and especially through the lens of motherhood. You're going to love this interview. I just know it. Here it is. Welcome to the True You Summit, Allison. I am so thrilled to have you here.
I am so honored that you're having me on here. This is wonderful.
Yeah, I had a little bit of a hard time finding somebody who I thought would fit the bill for intuitive, what my thought was intuitive exercise. It might not be the right term for it, but I really think it's an important topic to discuss because I think we're all accustomed to cookie cutter ways of exercising, and getting your body moving, I think, is really important. So I'd love to dive into this topic. So why is it important that we exercise, first of all?
Gosh, exercise, I think, is such an integral part of your overall health. And I really like to think of just movement in general for our bodies. And your overall, it includes mental, emotional, along with the physical. And to me, it's so important because I think that we've gotten almost disconnected from our bodies in a way. And I really see exercise as a movement, as a way to get back into your body. We've been almost indoctrinated into this like punishment. Like
Yes.
you ate a bad food and now you have to like make up for those calories. And that is like the most ridiculous thing because there's no such thing as like good and bad. I think getting into the binary is really dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
And we also have to achieve these like ridiculous body standards that you've probably never stopped to consider, that those standards were marketed to you your entire life and you've been indoctrinated into believing that there is this like higher standard. And so I think like movement and exercise puts you back into your body and back into your own personal power and helps you to connect to those internal resources that are inside your body, and you get out of your head, and then really shows you what your body can do and what you're really capable of and how you can feel, and really identifying how you can feel in your body and not just what it can look like. I think is a really powerful thing for a woman to take back.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I just got tingles from what you said because, you know, most often you see fitness people just say like, pound your body into submission, you got to do all this and that. And getting into your body is something that I don't think we talk enough about. And I'll never forget, I was in therapy in my early 20s and my therapist asked me, how much time do you spend in your body? And I was like, what do you mean by that? Like,
body. Right.
I don't get that question.
It's this weird thing that like you think about your body as like my 6-pack abs or my boulder shoulders or my big booty. And like, you're not just pieces of your body. Like you are more than your body. And I think we get too into like how it can look and not just how it can make you feel. And I really believe that as you become physically strong, I'm a huge proponent of weightlifting and having that be part of your exercise routine. But to me, the more physically stronger you become, the more mentally and emotionally stronger you become as well. And so it's this really wonderful positive feedback loop.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get just caught in how my body looks. I mean, and of course, exercise helps, you know, improve sleep and reduce depression and help with your self-esteem and bone density and all these other things. But to me, it's really that personal power piece that, especially for women, that ability to take that back is super, super important.
Yes. Yes, definitely. So you touched on a little bit the strength training piece. Can you talk more about some of the different parts and pieces of putting together a workout program that works for you and your body?
Yeah. You know, I think a lot of this depends on where you're at in your fitness journey. You really want to be matching your goals and your lifestyle and what you want to do with an exercise plan or a coach or a program that will help you on that journey. I think we can get really stuck in like, what's the right exercise for me, or what's like the exact thing that I should be doing to get like to lose 10 pounds or to get the body fat off, or these like very specific goals. And to me, it needs to be a longer journey because I think there's this really transformative power in picking up iron. And I think our culture is so obsessed with losing fat, and I wish we were more obsessed with gaining muscle. You have to really commit to movement that you love. And that would be my biggest piece of advice when you go about choosing what type of exercise you want. What you love has to be in line with what your goals are. And if you can commit to movement that you love, then it'll be sustainable. And you have to be in it for the long haul, not just this 14-day cleanse or a 90-day program that you think like, well, if I just lose this body fat, then I'll be happy. And you get into this like if then when you're trying to choose these exercise programs. If you can come from a place of this is a process and this is where I'm at now, and let's see where I'm at if I try something out, it'll be a much more sustainable process. So if you're moving your body with care and intention and showing it the care and respect it deserves, it's gonna feel different for you. You can only like white knuckle through so much kale and burpees before you throw in the towel. Like that's like not sustainable at all.
Yes, that is so, so true. And I think most people view exercise as something that they have to do because people, they have expectations of how their bodies are supposed to look. And I think a lot of people just go to the gym and slog away on the treadmill because, well, you got to do the cardio to burn the calories, and they despise every second of it. And that's not the intention, is it?
You don't need to despise, like if you despise what you're doing for your exercise or your movement, you're doing the wrong thing. To me, movement should feel nourishing in your body. What is going to make you feel nourished? And it doesn't have to be slogging away on the elliptical or on the treadmill at the gym. You can go for a walk. You can go hiking. You can do a dance class with your girlfriends. You can pick up weights. You can go play with your kids. Like there's so many things that I think we automatically take off the table because we're so indoctrinated into have to go to the gym, have to do this exercise program if I want to achieve X, Y, and Z. You can achieve those things by doing a ton of stuff. You just have to be a little bit more creative and think outside the box.
Yeah, exercise has always been a part of my life. I was an athlete. I was in sports all growing up, and I was an athlete in high school, and I've always had exercise as part of my routine. So it's never been a chore for me, and I've never had a relationship, like a contemptuous relationship, like feeling like I had to just because it feels good to me to move my body. But I kind of relate my exercise or what you're talking about, your relationship with it, to my relationship with food and being like, oh, I got to do this a certain way because of blah, 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 blah. And it doesn't need to be like that. You can have you need to just serve your body instead of pounding it into submission.
And pounding it into submission never yields positive results. I think anytime you get into this shame and guilt story with your food, with your exercise, with your body in general, it never ends up well. Like it doesn't feel good. It's more energy. It's more of a time suck. Like nothing from shame, blame, and guilt yields positive results. And so if you can approach your exercise, again, this is like, it's not like, oh, let me just, love my body and now I'm going to exercise and it's all going to be great. Like it is a process.
Yes, it's a practice in changing your thoughts around it.
Yes, it really is a mindset shift. I know it was really hard for me. It's coming from like a place of just neutrality. I've had a number of mentors, and I think it was Aaron Brown, who introduced me to like standing in front of the mirror and just saying, this is my body on Tuesday. Not pinching myself and being like, oh, if I can just eat less calories, if I can just go run for an hour, and all these things we shame ourselves into thinking we should be doing. And if you can just start from a place of neutrality, like this is my body on Tuesday. It's not bad. It just is. You can start accepting those things. And then when you approach exercise, it's like moving my body from a place of empowerment instead of fitting a different ideal or fitting into this box. It's what's going to work for me and my lifestyle and how I want to feel in my body.
Yes. 100%. So I think with moms, this can add a layer of complexity because of all the things. So can you dive into a little bit around what advice you'd have for moms in specific and some of the areas that they struggle with as it relates to movement or exercise?
Oof, the mom thing is so hard. Now mine are 6 and 8.
Mine too.
My two girls. I love having girls. I struggled hard being a mom, especially newborn moms. Like being postpartum was like one of the most difficult times in my life. Moms are under such an immense amount of pressure, and we're already overwhelmed with motherhood and trying to keep all the things moving, along with like keeping little humans alive. You have this like rush of hormones, all of the stuff that happens after birth, and it's this huge transition phase. And then moms are then bombarded with this like, get your body back.
Oh, right.
This get your body back business has got to stop.
Your body's never going to be the same.
Your body's never going to be the same. And your body never went anywhere. It's like, get your body back. You have changed. Your life has changed. And so your body is changing with you. And to try to put this pressure on yourself to go back to what it used to be is, number one, ridiculous. And number two, it's one of the most damaging narratives I see that preys on moms who are already incredibly vulnerable in this new phase of their life. And it puts more pressure on them than we, quite frankly, do not need. And I want moms to understand that it's not just you thinking this. Like, there's literally a multi-billion-dollar industry set up, upheld by systems and structures that are meant to make you feel less than, that are meant to make you feel not enough.
So you buy more stuff.
Exactly. So it's this like negative feedback loop of like, oh, I'm supposed to look like that. I'm supposed to get my pre-baby body back. So now I feel shame and guilt about not being that. So I'm going to keep trying to purchase all these things to be that. But you can't be that anymore.
Yes.
And if you can just step off of that loop, the problem was never you. The problem is in the messaging we receive and the ridiculous standards that we think we need to meet. That's like the biggest key that I want moms to understand. That you don't need to get your body back, that it never went anywhere. And then I think also, like, you need a realistic time frame for healing and for that transition. And again, we are in this, like, you know, I go to my 6-week checkup and my doctor says it's fine to start exercising again. So after 6 weeks of like birthing a child or getting cut open for whatever your birth story is, 6 weeks is not long enough for you. You need so much more than just like that 6-week period to then go back into like normal exercise. And I think that's like a really big misconception that a lot of women have around returning to activity and choosing exercises. Moms are already like the whole having enough time, feeling overwhelmed, being exhausted. And really this like grieving of your previous self because you want to hit those previous fitness goals or what that used to look like. And I think there is a process of like, that's just not who you are anymore. And there is that transition period. And all of that is normal and all of that is okay. And you can still feel powerful and confident in your body without the shame. And I think we have to take away that shame piece for the moms because your goals will become achievable when you can accept that new reality and give yourself some compassion and some grace. And God, you just deserve all of that.
Yes.
You deserve all the compassion and the grace without the shame.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I love you so much.
I wish somebody would have told, because I am a lifelong athlete. I grew up playing competitive soccer. I played Division I athletics. I was a Division I soccer coach. Like, hardcore athlete is like in my DNA. And so when I had babies, I'm like, I'm going to pop right back up and I'm going to get this athletic body. And I wish somebody would have been like, it's okay. Give yourself some time and grace because You're transitioning. It's going to be different.
This is my body on Tuesday.
This is it. Yeah, exactly. This is your body today. That's fine.
Yeah, and it may never go back to what it was, and it is what it is. I mean, you can't, feeling bad about where you're at serves no one.
No, especially not you, not your kiddos, not your family, not the people around you that love you and that accept you. Like we have to understand that soft belly skin is not bad.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like that industry that's telling you to like tighten and tone and lose and shrink and all these things that are meant to like confine you. You can break those confines. You will find your power and understand that soft belly skin is not the enemy.
Right. 100%. And at the same time, it can feel uncomfortable, and people might want to do some different things to feel better about themselves and feel better in their skin. So what would you recommend for somebody who isn't in a regular exercise routine and would like to get some guidance as to what to do for movement? I know we talked about a little bit of the finding whatever movement feels good to you. You mentioned strength training is important. How can moms build something that fits in their busy schedule? Because I think the time thing is one of the more critical, challenging pieces around moms and exercise.
Yes. So I think my biggest piece of advice is that fitness does not need to be some expensive trainer or an hour at the gym every day. All you need is your body. It's movement. And so there are a number of like online programs that are just body weight. And so your own body weight resistance can offer you a ton of bang for your buck. So putting together like a body weight training program that you can do from home, I found to be super helpful for moms. Anything that you can do from home, and like getting out of this mindset that you need a full hour for like a big long workout. I've found some of the most effective workouts to be 10 minutes. I could absolutely get your heart rate up, get you some resistance training, get you breathless in 10 minutes. And I think like so often we want this like perfect scenario and the perfect time. You will be waiting forever if you keep waiting for that perfect scenario and the perfect time to move your body. It doesn't have to be a gym. It doesn't have to be with a trainer. It can be at home. It can be 10 minutes. And you just have to start. Like the starting is the hardest part.
Yes. Without
waiting for that perfection. And so once you get starting, you're like, oh, damn, I feel pretty good. Like my heart rate's up. I have more energy. Like that felt good. I'm going to try that again. And 10 minutes at home here and there turns into 20 minutes, turns into, oh, maybe I'm going to take more time for me to move my body and to feel better. And you start looking into gyms or whatever else speaks to you. So I think getting out of that mindset is really, really important. And having community, I think, is really important. And it's not something that you typically think of in like an exercise program, but just to have a community that's supportive of your goals, that's supportive of your movement. Because motivation is not this like long-term plan. Like I'm not going to like wake up every morning and be motivated. Like I can hardly be motivated to put my laundry away, let alone like go to the gym. Like motivation is not a good plan. You have to have people around you that are going to help support you and hold you accountable. So whether that's a coach or just like a walking buddy, I've had, other moms, we just take our kids for a walk. We might take them to the park and we're walking around, the park while the kids are playing. I think you can get really creative, but having a community of people to really support that is really important too.
Or even just getting your husband on board.
Yes.
Say, hey, Weren't you going to go to the gym today?
Yes.
I'll watch the kids.
Yes.
And then going back to your point about it doesn't take too long. I have a great story about that. We had the polar vortex here this winter where it was like in the negative. I don't even remember how cold it was. It was super cold. So I was home with the kids. I worked from home and the kids were there. And I'm like, they were starting to get that stir crazy. They needed to get some energy out. I'm like, well, let's try a YouTube kids exercise video. Yeah. So I was doing it along with them. I was sore the next. It was like a 10-minute video. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it doesn't take much, and it's easy to find.
Yeah. Have you ever tried one of the ones I love, which like is this huge endorphin rush for me? Fitness Marshall. Have you ever heard of Fitness Marshall? Mm-mm. Okay. Fitness Marshall is like pop songs to this hysterical man and like 2 backup dancers. And it's like a whole fitness routine to like a song. It's just dancing. Mm-hmm. And I do it with my girlfriends and we like have the best time. And we'll do it, you know, for X amount of songs and it's hysterical and you're moving and it's like the best.
Yeah.
Like, fitness doesn't need to be this like regimented perfect thing that you have to do at a gym. Like gyms are like this new concept and like kind of this like money making thing. And like I love gyms. Like I love picking up weights. Like that's like my thing. And there's this whole other world that people can discover without gyms. And so you have to really find what works for you and your family and your community and your body. Like, yeah.
Yeah, and there's tons of apps too. I've been playing with Daily Burn. They've got a bunch of videos, or Sworkit is a bunch of body weight stuff. And I've just been playing around with it to see what else I can incorporate that I think is fun.
Yeah, right? And like that's key. Like you're finding things that are fun that will then keep you engaged in that. Because again, if you're slogging away on a treadmill, you're like, oh, it sucks. Like, I'm not going to look forward to that. But if I'm like, hey, I scheduled this time with a few of my girlfriends and our kids are going to play and we're going to dance and be silly and move our bodies, like, that's something I'm totally into.
I love it.
Yeah.
You want to talk a little bit about what kinds of services you offer?
Yeah. So I do all of my programming online. And I'm training women who want to be in the gym and want to get under a barbell, pick up a barbell, learn weightlifting techniques. So I program everything for them on a one-on-one basis, and then they get to implement that in the gym. I also do some programming for women or for moms or any of my clients that might want to do some home workouts as well. So it's not just in the gym. But it's mainly weightlifting and weight training and women that are looking to get hella strong and build some muscle.
Love it. Yeah. Any final tips before we close out?
Yes. I had 2 major points when I think about moms and really exercise and fitness. And the first was for them to really just reject this story and the system dictating these ridiculous body and beauty standards, and know that you've really been targeted. And I want you to stand in your own self-worth and your beauty and your compassion and stand in love, and know that you do not have to conform to those ideals to love yourself. And I think that that's really important. And it starts with, this is me on Tuesday. Mm-hmm. And the second, I think we also get really run into this narrative of like, well, eat right and take care of yourself and exercise so that you can take care of your kids and you can, fill your cup so you can fill others. This still assumes that we are in service of everybody else around us. And
ooh, I just got the chills.
Yeah. And I really want to tell moms, fill your cup because you deserve it. Full stop. You are worthy of your own time, care, and attention without being service to everybody else, which we do, and we do it awesome. Yes. And I know you're awesome at it. But fill your cup because you deserve it. Oh. That's what I want them to take.
You're so awesome. One last question. How do you connect to your true you?
Sometimes it really is just taking a deep breath. Like how often like we are like up in here and it's stressful, and sometimes it's just taking a deep breath, letting my shoulders relax. And sometimes it's just that simple, and that's all I need to remind myself to stay present in the moment and in my body, and moving my body. And most of the time for me, that's weights in a weight room, because I just love lifting all the things. But sometimes it's a walk, and sometimes it's dancing with my kids, and but moving my body.
Wonderful. Thanks again so much for being here. You blew my mind a lot with the things that you were saying. It was so perfect. Thanks so much.
Well, thank you for putting this on, Kira. I think it's just wonderful.